Good morning. We will be looking at some of the cameras and their evolution and the pictures they've taken in the history and how they have grown. Now, what we have in front of our screens is the camera which was used to take the first photograph by Nicéphore Niepce, a French inventor who developed heliography. This was taken in France to click a picture of his upper parts of his estate. He made this with a he took this with a small camera he made himself with silver chloride coated piece of paper, and he captured the picture, and this was the first picture taken ever. I talk about the picture later in the video as well. Curiosity and the urge to make cameras better didn't end with the first camera, of course. After Niepce's death, his partner Louis Daguerre managed to figure out the world's first photographic process in 1833. He uses a sheet of copper plated with silver and treated with iodine vapor. He he was able to permanently capture an image. This invention was called the daguerreotype, and it became publicly available in 1839. After people had thus now figured out how to successfully capture images, cameras began evolving rapidly. In 1859, Thomas Sutton received his patent for the first ever panoramic camera. He built this using a wide angle lens consisting of a water filled glass sphere. Using this theory, 2 years later, Oliver Holmes also discovered the stereoscopic viewer. In 1888, photography took a gigantic leap when George Eastman presented his first camera called the Kodak. The groundbreaking camera was first, and it's the first to use celluloid film. Its design was as simple as it could be. The first film camera was nothing more than a wooden box with one shutter speed and fixed focus lens. Customers could easily buy a Kodak camera which came preloaded with film for 100 exposures. When the roll of film was filled, they had to send it back to the factory for development. Eastman also was responsible for another big step in photography. In 1900s, he introduced the Brownie camera, which was the first ever mass marketed camera in the world. It was small, affordable, and allowed people to take snapshots of scenes. It was a huge hit, and the Brownie remained for sale until the 1960s. After the first film cameras and the first single lens reflex cameras, there was the SLRs, which came out with an instant return mirror in 1948. It was called the Gamma Deflux, made in Hungary, and it was very easy to use and small and portable as well. It came after the twin lens reflex camera. After this came the first Polaroid camera in 1948 as well. Edwin Land introduced his Polaroid cameras, which allowed photographers to take a photo and print it in mere minutes. This is something which is still so popular among teenagers, and we still love the 90s vibe it gives, and it's something which has been released from history and still lives on. After digital camera sets, and then came the DSLRs and smartphones of the 21st century. The Japanese company Sharp presented the very first camera to the camera phone to the world in thousands. With the introduction of iPhone by Apple in 2007, the world of photography shifted again. Millions of people just whip out their phone, take a picture, front camera, back camera, whatever you name it. However, most photographers still continue to use DSLR cameras, which have begun obviously outselling film camera. Canon launched their EOS 5D in 2005, the first full-frame, consumer-priced DSLR. This camera set the bar for quality digital cameras. Now we have easy-to-use, amazing DSLRs, cameras, phones, everything at our own disposal. This shows the evolvement of cameras. This is a picture taken by a Kodak camera of George Eastman holding his first Kodak camera. This is a picture taken by the Brownie camera by Eastman, which was in sale till 1960s as mentioned before. This is a picture of Edwin Land, the inventor of Polaroid pictures and Polaroid photography, holding a Polaroid of himself holding the camera in the picture. It's iconic, really. This is what photography has become. This is a picture of a butterfly taken by a DSLR. This is how photography, and this is how far photography has come and how much it has evolved. This picture shows it all. Having spoken about some of these amazing cameras, let's talk about some of these amazing photographs. Now what we have in front of us is the world's first photograph, which was taken in 1826 by Joseph Niepce. It was taken from the upstairs windows of his estate in Burgundy in France. This image was captured by a process called heliography, and this was the first photograph ever to exist. Now we have the first color photograph, which is taken by a mathematical physicist called James Maxwell. This shows a colored ribbon as it's visible, and it's considered the first ever durable colored photograph. Now in front of us we have the first aerial photograph to be taken. It was taken in 1860. No, it's not taken by a drone. It's instead taken by a hot air balloon. It depicts the town of Boston from 2,000 feet above, and the photographer was James Wallace Black, and he titled this Boston as the eagle and the wild goose see it. Now we have the first photograph to be taken of a president ever. He was called John Quincy Adams, and he is the sixth president of the United States. He was the first to have his photograph taken as a president. This was shot in 1843. This picture, I'm sorry if it's a little hazy, but this is the first digital photograph which was taken way before in 1957, 20 years before the first digital camera ever. This is a digital scan of a shot taken initially on a film, and this picture depicts Russell Kirch's son and has a resolution of 176 into 176 square photograph worthy of any Instagram profile. It's interesting to me because no one could have imagined to have such technology back then, 20 years before first Kodak digital camera was ever even invented. It wasn't common back then for people to be photographed, and therefore this was the first photograph of a human ever. It was supposed to be a photograph of the place, which was captured by Louis Daguerre. It was supposed to be just a picture of the Boulevard du Temple in Paris, but it ended up capturing one person while the other people in the streets were not visible due to the long exposure time, and thus at least one person was found here, and later with time more were found also with further analysis. This was the first picture of a human ever to be existing. Today in 2020, it's very easy for me to whip out my phone and click a selfie of myself in with the front camera, but back then it wasn't as easy. Robert Cornelius set up his first camera and took the world's first self-portrait in Philadelphia on business. He was there. He sat in front of a lens for over a minute. Before leaving the seat, he covered the lens, and this iconic photo was captured 170 years ago. I'll be interviewing my grandmother, who has watched and witnessed the evolution of cameras more than any person I know has, because she has seen cameras getting developed and getting to their best as they are right now throughout her lifetime. So I'll be interviewing her to get a good idea about how cameras were in the start of their careers as well. So my first question is, were cameras common around you? Did your friends, the people in the neighborhood have cameras? Was it common to own cameras?
Yes, camera was common to all my friends and all. But that time it was very simple camera. We were happy with that camera. Gradually the camera started after some years, 2-3 years back. Then the new generation camera came. We were happy with that camera. Then you can say that was Canon camera known. That was expensive. Those weak children were not allowed to carry.
Right. My second question is that, today it's very, very financially possible for every family to have a camera. For example, not the very expensive professional types. Now, if you go around to families here, every father almost has a camera. Was it like that? Did your family own cameras like that?
No, that I told you before also, as the cameras were expensive, so children were not allowed. Fathers who liked to do photography, they only used to keep that time. As they were very expensive, Canon camera was very expensive those days.
What camera did you have?
I had Canon. My father had Canon because he used to love photography.
This is just extra information. I still have that. She gave me the camera and we still have it. I'll be posting a picture of it later. Do you think that at that time, did you ever think that a camera which was portable in your phone, a small phone cameras were possible, not just
we didn't
back
think
camera.
also. We didn't think also that time. The technology will become so fast that we can carry camera on the phone. It was just beyond our thoughts. But now, as the technology and science has developed so much that the children, each and every children is having phone and camera with them individually. So they can click their photo anywhere they want now. They don't have to wait to bring the big camera and then only click it.
Do you remember, like, as with time, at what age were you when black and white cameras stopped working and then people moved on to colored cameras?
When I was 16 years, that time only colored camera came.
Okay. And
Colored reels we
yeah.
used to buy and we put it inside, so colored films used to come out.
Right. Do you think this is a very new thing which has come out recently? Teenagers have started liking the idea of Polaroids and film cameras, the film 90s effect. Do you think that they will start liking vintage cameras again because
Yes,
it has
sure.
become
Because in our time Polaroid camera had come. When I was 18, Polaroid camera came that time only. So you can think from those years, Polaroid is still going on. It is a fancy for all the children right now till. So they want it. It is a very good camera now.
what has been the major evolvement, one change you have seen from heavy, costly cameras, which had to be the film had to be put manually, to automatic, light, portable cameras now? What is a big change you have seen?
These all are due to technology. We used to work, we used to insert the reel, we have to sit and then see if the reels had been put properly or not. Otherwise the films wouldn't come out proper, the photos would not click out properly. But now as the cameras have become very handy and small, we can insert, automatic system has started. We just put the film and automatically it has been inserted in it. And so you can easily go around with the photos.
Thank you so much. I think that's good enough.
Thank you.